Hey, welcome to this week's edition of Riffs, the TV show that's dedicated to musical instruments and how to play them. Brought out the electric guitar this week. This is my Epiphone Wildcat. Got a few others I might bring out a little bit later, but we're going to be mainly focusing on this. This is a Epiphone hollow body, and right now I've got P90 pickups in it. We'll get into a little bit of talking about pickups and how they work and what the differences is in them here in a little bit. But last week we started off the show. I was teaching you guys how to tune your guitar. This week I'm going to show you a little bit more on tuning. I'm going to show you a different way to tune using harmonics. And we'll be down on the 6th string right over the 5th fret. I'm not going to press it down. I'm just going to lightly put my finger on top of it. I'm going to hit the string. And this will be your harmonic for E. Now on the 6th string, 5th fret, you hit it. And then on the 5th string, 7th fret, just lay your finger over top of it. It makes the same note. And to tell if it's out of tune or not, I actually get it out of tune for you and then bring it back up in. You'll be able to hear some waves in the note. And that's just, you match up the wave to where it doesn't have a wave in there at all. And then you'll know that you're in tune. And you can do that for almost every string. We're going to go down on the 5th fret, 5th fret, 5th string, and then the 7th fret, 3rd string. And those two notes will match up. And then down on the 3rd string, 5th fret, or excuse me, the 4th string, 5th fret, 3rd string, 5th fret, that'll work too. But when you get down to the 2nd and 3rd strings, that's not going to work. So you're going to have to do that the old-fashioned way and just do it the 5. The 4th fret and 4th fret, and then the 2nd string will be open. A little tip on tuning too: you always want to tune up to the note. So if like the 2nd string's off in tuning, you want to go down first, then bring it back up, and that just gets the tension out of the strings. If you have new strings, you need to make them as tight as possible so they won't slip. And actually on the bottom 2 notes you can do the harmonics again. So the only one you can't tune to would be the 2nd string. You can't tune that from the 3rd string harmonics. But I'll go through that again on the recap. Coming up now, let me talk a little bit about humbuckers and single coils. The Epiphone Wildcat has what they call humbuckers on it. And if you look on some other guitars, like the Stratocaster style guitars, a lot of those have what they call single coils. And basically what a single coil is it's just a set of magnets, but that pick up the notes. But the humbucker, to make it very simple, is 2 single coils put together to make the humbucker. And actually, if you have your Stratocaster set, it usually has 5 settings. If you have it set in between where it has 2 activated, two of the pickups activated, it actually causes a canceling effect because some of the Stratocasters get a little hum in there. And I'll show you guys that a little bit later too. But it'll have the hum in there, and then when you set it in between them where 2 of them are activated, it cancels out that hum, thus causing a humbucking effect. But I got Gibson humbuckers on this, and so we won't have too much of a hum. But since it is a hollow body, we're going to get some feedback issues possibly. I got it turned down low enough so we won't get too many feedback issues today in the studio. But if you're out somewhere and you've got a hollow body and you want to use any distortion whatsoever, you're going to have some feedback issues unless you turn it down really low and just mic it through the PA system. Today I'm using my Fender DeVille. It's a 2x12, and it works really, really well for me. I've owned Marshall stacks before, but seriously, there's really no need in having a Marshall stack unless you're going to play like the Staples Center or something. And the bigger guys have the rows and rows of of Marshall half stacks and stuff just lined up, and most of that is for show, but some of that is because they don't want to, you know, if you have a Marshall cranked up really, really loud, you can get this awesome tone. But for anything gigging around the Kentucky area, or even in Nashville, not a lot of players out of Nashville play with the big Marshall stacks. They're just too loud. I know of a professional country artist who uses 6 different amps, and he's got a switcher that switches in between each individual amp, and he's running it all through an 8-inch speaker that's mic'd through the PA. And that's not all that uncommon. But some other gear that I'm using today, I've got a Crybaby wah pedal, and I'm using a Dan Electro Daddy-O, which is a distortion, a little overdrive pedal. It's not distortion, there's a little bit of difference. And when it overdrives it, it gives it kind of a bluesy sound. But that's what we'll be using today. We're going to go through with a little bit of heavier sound. I'm not running it clean. I'm running it through the Daddy-O right now. But we'll get into some wah stuff later. I'm going to give you your A string, and this will be your 5th string. We're going to go to commercial, so you guys tune up during the commercial. When we come back, we'll talk about some more stuff. So here's your A.
What is a hero? Are heroes born, or are they made? In after-school programs, your kids will uncover hidden strengths, discover they have the power to change their future, and find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN. After-school programs, helping kids find the hero within.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital. I feel like a fish with no water.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor. Because even one attack is one too many.
I don't want to eat.
Come on, just one bite.
I don't like it.
Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, King of the Apes, father of boy. He knows what it takes to be a dad. You go for a ride, you take a swim, you hang out. All it takes is time. Hey, it doesn't take a hero, but it takes a man to be a dad.
Hey, welcome back to Riffs. My name is Joshua Maxwell, and I'm going to be teaching you guys some electric guitar today. Last week I taught you the chord E. I taught you the open position, then I taught you some bar chords and power chords. Right now I'm fixing to teach you the open chord A, then we'll move on to D, and then I'll teach you B today too. But A is going to be using your first 3 fingers of your left hand, your ring finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret, middle finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 1st finger, 4th string, 2nd fret. And you're just going to play the bottom 4 notes. And that's how you make your A. And you can practice. One of the techniques that I used to use when I was first learning guitar is you always kind of look at your fingers while you're putting them on the fretboard, and you're like, okay, that's A, and you play it. Well, one thing that'll teach you not to do that, and it'll make you faster, quicker, learn the basic shapes of your notes, of your open chords and your bar chords and your power chords, any chords you want to know. Then, you know, when you're about to go to sleep at night, grab your guitar when the lights are all off, and then make your chords and switch between the E that I taught you last week and the A that we're gonna learn right now. And that way, you're trusting your hands and you're not trusting your eyes to change those shapes. So here's your E to your A. And now we're going to teach you, just to recap real fast, this is your A bar chord. Remember that shape that I taught you guys last week. It'll be up on the 5th fret. You're going to bar that whole thing with your first finger. That's your bar chord A. I'm going to teach you D real fast as well. And the reason I'm teaching you this is going to lead into next week's episode. So you guys remember all these notes and learn them by next week, so you guys be up to date, up to speed with the show. Right now, here's your D. This is an open chord. You're going to take your middle finger, put on the 1st string, 2nd fret, ring finger, 2nd string, 3rd fret, 1st finger will be on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Okay, there you go. There's your D. That's your D open chord. Now your D bar chord would be up here, right across from your A. Your A is here. Your D will be here. And this will be a little bit different because that's actually would be your D minor if you make the same exact shape as your bar chord here. For your A, if you just move it down a string, that's what it'll sound like. So you actually have to take your pinky and lay it across the 2nd string down there. So you'll be 1st finger on the 5th fret, then your ring finger on the 7th fret of your 4th string, and then your pinky will be on your 2nd and 3rd string. And that will be your D power chord. Right now I'm going to teach you guys the minor pentatonic scale. I'm going to teach you the major pentatonic scale because there's only one note difference in the major minor pentatonic scale. And like the other scales, this one is movable, so it's great for lead playing. I'm going to start it in A, and this will be your A minor pentatonic scale. You're going to be up on the 5th fret, and then this is what it actually looks like, and here's how to play it. Now, I said it was movable. If you just move it up to the 7th fret, that'll be your B minor pentatonic scale, and it goes like this. Okay, now, the difference between a minor pentatonic scale and the major pentatonic scale is where you start. The minor pentatonic, A minor, we're sticking with A here, A minor pentatonic scale starts on the 5th fret. Well, to make it a major, you start on the 8th fret. So, like in the minor, you would go from 5th to 8th. Well, now you're just going to start on the 8th, and this will make it a major pentatonic scale. Major difference between the major and minors, the major starts on that second note, and a lot of people like the Beatles or the Grateful Dead or the Allman Brothers use the major pentatonic scale. It gives it a little bit different of a different flavor if you do it that way. Speaking of minors, I got some notes here. I couldn't remember all the songs that you could solo to in the A minor pentatonic scale, but I was wanting to tell you guys just a few. Stairway to Heaven and Crossroad Blues are both in A minor pentatonic scale, and like I said, that's movable. So Freebird is in G minor, and Purple Haze and Sweet Child of Mine and Pride and Joy are all in E minor. So if you learn the shape of that scale and you want to sit in with anybody, well then you know that scale pretty well. You can sit in with pretty much anybody you want to if you just practice and practice and practice on it. I want to show you some string bending and some hammer-on string bends. We learned to hammer on last week, but now we're going to add to that. We're going to be up on the 3rd string, 5th fret, 5th and 7th fret. And I like to support, like you can bend. I usually bend with my ring finger, but I always support it with my 1st finger, being on 2 frets below it. So what you're actually going to do is you're just going to hit that 3rd string, and you're just going to bend up. And a lot of guys will actually start, it's a little soloing technique here for you. A lot of guys will actually start with it bent and bring it down. And then give it a little vibrato at the end, so it'll sound like this. Okay, now that we've done that, I want to do a string bend and pull off at the same time. I'll do a hammer on, then bend it, and then pull it off. Another little soloing technique I wanted to show you guys today is sliding up to a note. And a lot of lead players do this, like everybody does this. Country players, a lot of people use this. And I'll just show you on the 5th fret. You can do this anywhere, but just we'll go from the 3rd fret all the way up to the 7th. And then they start into their solo, or they start into their scale, and just. So I'm going to tab that out for you, and here's what that looks like, and here's how to play it. Okay, coming back, I'm going to show you guys a different note. It's a different shape of a note, and this will be more of a bluesier note that we're going to use a lot next week during our blues episode. But it'll be the C dominant 7th sharp, and it sounds really, really weird, but it's really easy to make, and it's a movable chord as well, and you can use it in a lot of different places. So coming up, stick it right here. I'll be showing you guys a different note.
A healthy start means everything. Start when you're pregnant.
Open up your eyes and welcome to the world, little baby boy. I mean, little baby girl.
Get low-cost, even free prenatal care. Call the Prenatal Care Hotline at 1-800-311-BABY. Because you want things to go right.
What is a hero? Are heroes born, or are they made? In after-school programs, your kids will uncover hidden strengths, discover they have the power to change their future, and find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN. After-school programs, helping kids find the hero within.
Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, King of the Apes, Father of Boy. He knows what it takes to be a dad. You go for a ride, you take a swim, you hang out. All it takes is time. Hey, it doesn't take a hero, but it takes a man to be a dad.
I want to eat.
Come on, just one bite.
I don't like it. When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital. I feel like a fish with no water.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor. Because even one attack is one too many.
Help the Arbor Day Foundation, families across the nation.
Explore nature with your child or grandchild. You'll discover that what's really important in life is life itself. Go to arborday.org and check out the Kids Explore Club. Bring children closer to nature and closer to you.
Hey, welcome back to Riffs. On this third and final segment, I'm going to teach you guys a form of a C, and it's actually, the name of it is C dominant 7th sharp 9th. And it'll be down here on your 3rd fret. You're going to take your middle finger, get on the 5th string, 3rd fret, 1st finger, 4th string, 2nd fret, ring finger, 3rd string, 3rd fret. I'm going to put my pinky on the 1st string, 3rd fret, and it will sound like this. And it sounds kind of weird, but it's a very bluesy note, and it sounds really good on this Wildcat. I'm going to go from a G power chord to the C that I just showed you, and this will sound a little bit better to you. A lot of blues and rock players use some dominant 7th chords just because it gives it a different flavor, and that's what this show is all about. I'm going to be showing you some different ways to make some different notes, and it'll add a 7th, or it'll be a minor, or it'll add a 9th or whatnot, or do both, you know, add sharps and flats, and that's the way you get a different sound. Blues is a 1-4-5 chord progression, and what that means is that the 1 is going to be the first note, then you go up 4 steps, that'll be the 2nd note, and then the 5 is the 3rd note. There's usually only 3 notes in the blues. And you think, well, wow, there's people who have made whole careers off of 3 notes playing the blues. Well, yeah, because there's so many different ways to make all these notes that we're playing. And I'm just showing you just a few ways on how to make these notes. I'll go through that. In the C dominant 7th, that shape is actually movable. So I'm going to show you a little bit, just a little blues chord progression using your power chord and then the C that I just showed you. But I'm going to make it, it's actually going to be a D right now because it's going to be the same shape, but I'm going to move it up to the 5th fret and play some blues for you in A, and then I'll tab it out for you. But we'll just use the power chords for right now because that'll be easier for you. Now it looks like just when I did that I only used 2 notes, but I actually used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. But the shape was the same for 4 of those notes, so it's not too hard to come up with a lot of different new sounds with just shapes. So that's all guitar playing is shapes. So you learn your shapes and you're good to go, and you can play just about any note. Here's the E of last week, and then I'm going to go from E to the A, and then I'm going to show you how to make a B chord. And B is really easy because it's just like your power chord or bar chord. It's the same shape. It'll be down here. 1st finger on your 5th string, 2nd fret, and your 2nd and 3rd fingers on your 4th string, 4th fret, and your 3rd string, 4th fret. Oh, turn it up. And then you're going to have to actually lay your pinky down on that 2nd string, so it'll make the. But that's how you make your B. And here's a little blues chord progression for you guys to practice for next week for our blues episode. Here's your E to your A, back to your E, to your A, and we're going to go to your B, back to your A, and then your E. That's just a little 1-4-5 chord progression. Here it is. Here it is a little bit faster, and I'm not gonna say anything while I do it. But you guys practice this, and you'll be up to speed for next week. You can also do that in A, but I'll show you that here in a second. Here's your E bluesy chord progression. All right, here's that chord progression, or that bluesy chord progression, 1-4-5 up in A. And we're actually going to use the bar chords for this. And so here it is in A. Hey, on this episode I brought out the electric and I wanted to show you guys some gear. I've been using the Dan Electro Daddy-O overdrive this whole time, so that sound comes from that. And you can get that overdriven sound with just about any good overdrive pedal that you want to get. Dan Electro is just the one that I like, and that's the one that I use. But I've got actually a Dimebag Darrell Crybaby wah pedal. I'm going to turn it on for you guys and just let you know what that sounds like. A lot of country players use this too. I know that in Reba McEntire's Fancy, that song, there's a wah pedal going on in that one. I heard it on the radio the other day. And a wah pedal was made popular by Hendrix, and everybody uses a wah now. A lot of people do. A lot of my favorite country artists and blues players and rock players and punk players and a bunch of people use the wah pedal. It was actually, wah pedal was actually made for a slide guitar. A lot of you Robert Randolph fans might like the lap steel guitar. It was actually created for that, and then Hendrix took over. But here's what it sounds like, and then we'll get a close-up shot of that here in a second. But here's what a wah sounds like when you're turning it on. I'm going to play it in A. And it sounds really cool when you actually go to solo on it. So I'm just gonna throw in a few notes here, play that A minor pentatonic scale for you guys with the wah pedal. So here it is. Hey, that's about all we have time for this week on Riffs. Join us again next week. We're gonna have our blues episode. I'll be showing you guys some tips and tricks with some different things about the blues. 1-4-5. Showed you a little bit this week, but we'll be getting into some serious blues. I'll show you a few shuffles and whatnot, so you guys can really have fun with that. But join us again next week. See you guys later.